ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major, exclusive, and top headlines for this broadcast. On your primary domestic, an announcement from the Ministry of Health. The NCEW's third regular meeting, and more. China blasts homogenic U.S. missile stations. An earthquake with a magnitude of 6.6 jolted southwestern of Japan. Welcome to your domestic in brief. 58 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at quarantine centers and testing stations in the central, southern Red Sea and Gashbarka regions, respectively. Out of these, 52 patients are from quarantine centers 1 and testing stations 51 in Asmara Central Region. 4 patients are from quarantine centers 3 and testing stations 1 in Asab, southern Red Sea region. 2 patients are from testing stations in Tessenei, Gashbarka region. On the other hand, 27 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region, 23, and southern Red Sea regions, 4, have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. Sadly, a 99-year-old patient from the central region has passed away due to the pandemic. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 8,655, while the number of deaths has risen to 91. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,250. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 22nd January 2022. The National Confederation of Eritrean Workers in its third annual meeting conducted on 20th and 21st of this January reviewed activities of the 2021 and discussed on the charted out programs for the year of 2022. According to the reports presented by the General Secretary of the Confederation, Mr. Taghasta Bayre, the relationship of the Confederation with the regional and international organizations is growing, and with that, the partnership related to labor issues is developing. Regarding human Resources Development, Mr. Taghasta said that the Massawa Workers Vocational Training Center is providing training on various fields to 160 workers from 40 instance with a view to develop the overall capacity, that of workers. Furthermore, Mr. Taghasta said that the Tahombia Training Center for Disadvantaged Women is conducting encouraging activity in supporting women-led foster families with livestock breeding, microcredit, and farming activities, and that currently training on tailoring is being provided to 20 disadvantaged women. Regarding the charted out development programs for 2022, the reports indicate that training programs will be organized to boosting productivity of workers, including in mining, agriculture, marine resources, and construction. On your final domestic, the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in Karen subzone conducted its 5th Congress on 18th of this January. According to reports presented at the Congress, commendable effort has been exerted in strengthening the organizational capacity of women, avoiding harmful practices, and ensuring the health of mother and child, as well as in developing the participation of women in the national affairs. Mrs. Fagret Asanai, head of the union branch, said that in 2021, vocational training was provided to 40 women. Award was also extended to outstanding secondary school female students, and material support worth 80,000 natfa was extended to fistula victims in Mendefara Referral Hospital. Speaking at the occasion, Mrs. Latenugus Abraha, acting administrator of current subzone, called for strengthening organization of women and especially that of educated and youth females. As Mrs. Amna Hassan, head of the union branch in Ansaba region, on her part called for preserving strengths and work hard for addressing the limitations that are being encouraged, as she encouraged in her speech. Do stay tuned for more of your reports on the international line after this short interval. And on your global reports, China has denounced the United States for imposing, in quotation, homogenic sanctions on China's companies and urged it to revoke the relevant sanctions and stop surprising China's enterprise and smearing as well China. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhuo Lijiang on Friday also accused Washington of hypocrisy for selling nuclear-capable cruise missiles. The U.S. State Department on Friday announced sanctions against these Chinese companies, accusing them of missile technology proliferation. The companies are China Aerospace Science and Technology Corp's First Academy, China Aerospace Science and Technology Corp's Fourth Academy, and Polytechnology Incorporated. The sanctions, which apply to the companies and their subsidiaries, mean that those entities are barred from U.S. markets and from obtaining technology that can be used to make weapons. According to the Associated Press, Lijiang told reporters that this is a typical homogenic action China strongly deplores and firmly opposes it. China accounted for 5.2% of the global share of major arms exports between 2016 and 2021, while in comparison, the U.S. accounted for 37% of the global share, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said the China strictly controls in exports of missiles, adding normal cooperation between China and relevant countries doesn't violate any international law and doesn't involve proliferation. On your final report, an earthquake with a magnitude of 6.6 jolted southwestern of Japan early on Saturday, January 22nd morning, injuring 13 people, according to local media reports. Footages shot by local television shows burst pipes flooding the streets and debris on the ground after a wall collapsed due to the earthquake. No tsunami warning was issued after the quake struck with an epicenter 45 kilometers deep at 1:08 a.m. off the coast of Kyushu, the southernmost of Japan's four main islands, that Japan Meteorology Agency reported. The quake caused shaking in Ota and Miyazaki prefectures that measured 5+ on Japan's seismic intensity scale, which has a maximum of 7, as the agency also reported. 13 people were injured in nearby regions, including 2 people in their 80s were also seriously hurt, the Yomiuri newspaper reported, citing the local authorities. However, multiple reports of damage to buildings, water pipes, and roads have been confirmed, said the public broadcaster, the NHK, on their final report. Dear viewers, that is all for now, but these are your major headlines in review. An announcement from the Ministry of Health as your primary domestic. The NCEW's 3rd regular meeting and a 5th Congress of the NUEW branch in Karan. On your international, China blasts homogenic U.S. missile sanctions. An earthquake with a magnitude of the 6.6 jolted southwestern Japan. That is all with your January 22nd reports. Have a nice one.